What if your mornings became the reason your whole life started to change? Imagine waking up every day with a clear mind, steady energy, and the kind of focus that makes everything feel possible. That kind of strength doesn't come from luck. It's built through small, steady habits that shape who you become. The way you begin your day decides the kind of person you'll be when it ends. Most people wake up without direction. They rush, they worry, and they start the day already tired. But those who understand the power of mornings, they move differently. They rise early, they breathe deeply, they think before they act. They don't wait for the day to go right, they make it right. And while others start in chaos, they start in calm, knowing discipline is the first step toward freedom. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being prepared. As Aristotle once said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Every sunrise is a new chance to build that excellence, to train your mind, strengthen your body, and set your heart in the right place. In a few moments, you'll learn how to create morning habits that transform not just your day, but your whole life. You'll see how a few quiet choices each morning can sharpen your focus, build your confidence, and fill your day with purpose. Because once you master your mornings, you stop living by chance and start living by choice. So from today, rise with purpose. Because a strong morning builds a strong life. 1. Begin each day before the world wakes. There is a quiet power in rising before the world stirs. When the air is still and the streets are silent, you stand alone with yourself. No noise, no demands, no distractions. The early hours are sacred. They are untouched by the chaos that will soon arrive. In that silence, you meet the clearest version of who you are. The mind is calm, the heart is steady, and every thought feels sharper. This is the hour when great decisions are born and powerful habits are built. It's not about the clock, it's about mastery. The world has not yet claimed your focus, so you claim it for yourself. You decide the tone, the pace, and the strength with which you'll face the day ahead. Rising before the world wakes is not about chasing success or trying to do more. It's about doing things with greater clarity and purpose. When you move before others, you move without pressure. You think without interruption. You breathe without rush. There is something commanding about a person who greets the day in silence, preparing their mind before the noise begins. They don't stumble into the day, they enter it with intention. They walk through the morning like a warrior sharpening his blade, calm and precise, knowing that the strength built in silence will be seen in action later. In the stillness, you learn to listen not to others, but to yourself. You hear the faint whispers of your thoughts, the quiet guidance of your inner voice. This is where focus is born, where calm is cultivated. You begin to see how much power there is in simplicity. When you rise early, you give yourself time to think before you act, to plan before you move, and to strengthen your will before the world tests it. Every minute spent in the calm of morning builds a kind of strength that can't be shaken later. While others wake and rush, you are already grounded. While they react to the day's demands, you've already shaped your path. That is what separates the disciplined from the distracted, the ability to take command of the day before the world even opens its eyes. The first light that touches the sky isn't just the beginning of another day. It's a signal, a reminder that time is a gift, and how you use it determines everything. The person who rises with the dawn does not just gain hours, they gain control. They move through the world unhurried because they've already done the inner work before anyone else begins. The early morning teaches patience. It teaches strength. It teaches the value of silence. You begin to realize that peace is not something you find, it's something you create through discipline. Waking early is not easy. That's why it's powerful. It's an act of quiet rebellion against comfort, a declaration that your purpose is greater than your excuses. Each time you rise before the world, you strengthen your mind, training it to act instead of wait, to lead instead of follow. And when the world finally wakes, you stand ready, steady, centered, and composed. The noise no longer shakes you because your day began in stillness. The rush no longer controls you because you already moved with intention. You don't compete for time, you command it. You don't chase calm, you carry it. The one who begins before the world wakes doesn't just start early, they move through life with quiet dominance. They rule their hours, their actions, and ultimately themselves. That is the secret. Rise before the world and you rise above it. 2. Guard the first thoughts of the day. The first thoughts that enter your mind when you wake are not small. They are the roots from which your entire day grows. The moment you open your eyes, before the noise of the world seeps in, you hold something rare, a clean slate, untouched and pure. That fragile space between sleep and wakefulness is where your mind is most open, most honest, and most unguarded. What you allow in at that moment becomes the foundation for everything that follows. If your first thoughts are calm, your day moves with calm. If they are restless, your day will mirror that unrest. This is why you must guard your first thoughts like a fortress, because once they are shaped, they will shape you. The truth is, the world does not care to protect your peace. It will push its noise, its demands, its chaos into your mind the moment you allow it. But in the stillness of morning, you hold the power to decide. You are the gatekeeper of your own mind, and what you permit to enter determines your strength for the day. Do not let worry slip through the door. Do not let fear disguise itself as responsibility. Do not let yesterday's mistakes sit beside you as you rise. Yesterday is gone. It cannot touch you unless you invite it back. Every sunrise offers a quiet reminder you have been given another chance to live, to build, to grow. And that chance begins with what you choose to think. Start with gratitude. It doesn't need to be loud or grand. Just breathe and recognize the gift of waking up, the air that fills your lungs, the quiet before life begins to move. Gratitude grounds the mind and strengthens the heart. It clears the fog that doubt tries to create. When you begin your day with appreciation instead of anxiety, you set your compass toward clarity. Gratitude reminds you that no matter how uncertain the world may seem, you still possess control over one thing, your own perspective. From that state of calm awareness, remind yourself of who you are and what you stand for. This is not about affirmations or forced positivity. It is about truth. You are not what others think of you. You are not what happened yesterday. You are what you choose to become today. Each morning you are offered a choice to drift through the day reacting to everything around you, or to stand firm, unshaken, and deliberate in how you move. That choice begins the moment your eyes open. Guarding your first thoughts is not an act of control, it is an act of freedom. It frees you from the chains of impulsive reaction, from the weight of regret, from the pull of negativity. The thoughts you choose to entertain early on become the soldiers that defend your peace when the world tests it later. If you choose fear, your mind will yield. If you choose calm, your spirit will hold. And if you choose clarity, your day will follow with direction and purpose. Remember this, your mind is not a place for the world to plant its noise. It is a garden for you to cultivate with care. Water it with discipline. Protect it with awareness. The first thoughts you allow to grow there will decide whether your day is built on peace or chaos, strength or weakness, focus or confusion. When you master those first few moments of the morning, you no longer stumble through the hours ahead, you move with power. Your direction becomes clear, your reactions measured, your energy unshaken. The day bends in your favor because you began by bending your mind toward what matters most, stillness, gratitude, and intention. And when your first thoughts are your own, the world loses its grip on you. You don't chase calm, you carry it. You don't hope for peace, you create it. That is the strength of one who guards their mind at dawn. They walk through the day unshaken, guided not by noise, but by quiet command. 3. Face the day with intention, not impulse. Most people move through life without direction. They wake, they act, they speak, but rarely do they know why. They are driven not by purpose, but by impulse, tossed from one task to another, reacting to every challenge that crosses their path. Their energy is scattered, their focus fragile, and their days pass without meaning. But the few who choose to live with intention move differently. They do not drift, they direct, they do not react, they respond. Before the world can decide for them, they decide for themselves. That is the difference between a life controlled by chaos and a life guided by purpose. To live with intention is to live awake. It means that before you take your first step, you already know where you are going. You do not rush into the noise of the day hoping to find control. You create it. You take a quiet moment to define your direction, to remind yourself of what truly matters. What deserves your attention? What is worth your energy? And what can be left behind? When you begin the day with these questions, you strip away distraction before it even begins. You start to see how much of life's noise is meaningless, how many battles are unworthy of your time. The strong move with precision. Their actions are deliberate, their decisions clear. They do not let emotion steer their judgment or allow circumstance to pull them off course. They understand that intention is power. It gives shape to every choice, weight to every word, and strength to every step. When you act with intention, even the smallest task becomes significant. It is no longer about doing more, it is about doing what matters. Every moment becomes a move in the direction of something greater. Every morning you have a chance to prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. It is not about punishing yourself, it is about honoring your potential. You build momentum through small acts of challenge, through consistent choices that remind your mind who is in control. The more you do what is hard, the less life can intimidate you. Obstacles begin to shrink because your spirit has learned how to face them. Resistance no longer feels like punishment, it feels like preparation. So greet each morning with a sense of purpose. Seek the discomfort that others avoid. Push when it hurts. Stay when it's hard. Keep going when you want to stop. Each act of effort strengthens something inside you that comfort can never touch. Sweat, struggle, strain, they are not signs of weakness. They are signs of transformation. Every time you face difficulty with quiet resolve, you rise a little higher, stand a little firmer, and move a little closer to mastery. Because those who begin their day with effort do not fear what lies ahead. They've already conquered themselves. 5. Reflect on what truly matters. Before the day carries you away, pause. Let the world wait for a moment. Look within and face yourself honestly. Ask, what truly matters today? Not what others expect of you, not what noise demands your attention, but what truly holds weight in your heart. Every morning, you stand at a crossroad between what is urgent and what is important. The world will whisper that everything must be done at once, that every small task and every passing worry deserves your time. But wisdom begins the moment you realize not all things deserve your energy. Some things only steal your peace. Reflection is how you protect your direction. It clears away the fog of distraction and reveals what is real beneath the surface. When you stop to reflect, you see what must be done, but also what can be released. You begin to notice how much of life's rush is built on things that do not truly matter. The opinions of others, the competition for approval, the constant search for more, all of it loses its grip once you turn inward. Because inside, beneath the noise, there is something steady, something unshaken. It is your purpose, waiting to be remembered. When you start your morning by grounding yourself in what is essential, you step into the world with clarity. You no longer move like one who is pushed, you move like one who chooses. You act not out of impulse, but out of meaning. The difference is quiet but powerful. One person rushes through the day reacting to every demand, exhausted and scattered. The other moves with calm precision, knowing what deserves attention and what does not. The difference between them is not circumstance, it is reflection. To reflect is to meet your own thoughts before the world fills them with noise. It is to sit in stillness and ask yourself, what truly builds peace within me? What actions today will bring me closer to the person I want to be? These questions shape your direction. They strip away the unnecessary and leave you with what is true. The person who begins the day like this cannot be easily swayed because they have already chosen their path before the world tries to choose it for them. Reflection is not weakness, it is strength in its purest form. It requires courage to face yourself without distraction, to confront your thoughts, your mistakes, your desires. But this is how you grow. This is how you strengthen your spirit. Each morning you reflect, you build discipline in silence. You learn to separate noise from meaning, reaction from purpose, movement from progress. And the more you do it, the more you begin to feel a steady rhythm within you, a rhythm that no chaos can break. The one who starts the day in reflection does not lose themselves in busyness. They move with balance because they understand what deserves their energy. They know when to act and when to wait. They know that peace is not found by chasing everything, but by choosing the few things that truly matter. Reflection teaches you this wisdom. It shows you that life is not about doing more, it's about doing what counts. Impulse, on the other hand, is the path of weakness. It is easy to react. It is easy to move because the world pushed you to. But to act with purpose requires control. It requires stillness before motion. The one who pauses before acting commands far greater strength than the one who rushes without thought. This control builds confidence. It builds respect. People sense it. They notice the difference between those who are easily swayed and those who are firmly centered. When you carry intention, you move with quiet authority. You no longer need to prove yourself because your calm direction speaks louder than noise ever could. Living with intention does not mean life will always go your way. The world will still test you. Obstacles will still appear. But when your actions are chosen, not forced, you cannot be easily shaken. You meet challenges with calm calculation, not panic. You adapt, but you do not lose your balance. The one who lives with intention walks through storms without losing sight of the horizon. That is the true mark of inner strength. So before the world begins to move, decide how you will move. Decide what kind of day you will create. Do not step into the world blindly, hoping for peace. Carry peace with you. Do not wait for clarity to arrive. Bring clarity to what you do. Each morning, see yourself as a commander preparing for the field. Your mind is your strategy, your discipline, your armor, your focus, your weapon. You move not with haste, but with quiet certainty. Because those who act with intention do not chase victory, they create it. Every step, every breath, every moment becomes part of their command. And when you walk through the day knowing why you do what you do, the world no longer pulls you off course. You do not drift, you direct. You do not react, you lead. And that is how you turn every day, no matter how ordinary, into a quiet triumph. 4. Do one thing that requires effort. Ease weakens the spirit. Comfort dulls the edge of discipline. Each time you choose what is easy, you trade a piece of your strength for temporary relief. The mind grows soft when it is never tested, the body loses power when it is never challenged, and the will begins to fade when it is never forced to fight. That is why each morning, before the day claims you, you must do something that requires effort. Something that demands your full attention, your energy, and your resolve. It doesn't have to be grand or complex, it just has to be difficult. Because difficulty is the ground where strength is built. When you wake and face something that tests you, you remind yourself that growth has a cost. You pay that cost through effort. It might be the discipline of moving your body when it would rather rest, the patience of stillness when the mind wants to wander, or the quiet fight of pushing through a task that demands every ounce of focus you have. Whatever form it takes, the act itself matters less than the decision to face it. The choice to confront resistance every morning shapes the kind of person you become. Those few minutes of challenge set the tone for your entire day. When you willingly do what is hard, you train your mind to obey your command instead of your comfort. You begin to understand that strength is not something you are born with. It is something you earn each time you refuse to quit. The body learns endurance, the mind learns control, and the will learns dominance. You start to see how effort builds not just ability, but character. Each drop of sweat, each moment of strain becomes proof that you are capable of more than you thought. That silent victory at the start of your day ripples through every decision that follows. It builds confidence that cannot be given to you. It must be forged through struggle. The truth is, comfort will always call to you. It will whisper promises of rest, of ease, of safety. But comfort is not your ally. It is your greatest test. It tempts you to settle when you should rise. It convinces you that you've done enough when you've barely begun. To grow, you must learn to look comfort in the eye and walk past it. Because nothing great was ever built by those who stayed where it was easy. Growth is the result of deliberate struggle. It is born in those quiet moments when you choose effort over ease, focus over distraction, and progress over peace. So before the day takes you, pause. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and return to yourself. Let silence speak louder than noise. Let clarity replace confusion. The world can wait for a few moments, but your peace cannot. When you rise from reflection, you will move through the day with steadiness. Distractions will lose their power, chaos will fade, and purpose will guide you like a compass. Because the person who begins each day with reflection does not chase, meaning they create it. And in time, this simple act will transform your days from busy to fulfilled, from scattered to centered, from restless to whole. 6. Expose yourself to discomfort on purpose. Growth never comes from ease. Ease is comfort disguised as safety. It keeps you where you are, quiet and unchanged. True strength is born from the moments that challenge you, from the choices that test your limits. Growth does not come wrapped in warmth. It comes through the cold sting of discomfort, through the weight of resistance, through the courage to do what others avoid. Each morning, before the world demands anything from you, give yourself this test. Step willingly into something that makes you uneasy. Face the thing that your mind resists. Whether it's the discipline of the body, the silence of the mind, or the courage to confront a fear, do it with intent. Because discomfort is not your enemy, it is your greatest teacher. When you learn to stand in discomfort without fleeing, something within you begins to change. You start to see that pain is not punishment, it is preparation. It strips away weakness, layer by layer, exposing the raw strength that was always buried underneath. Discomfort forces you to meet yourself, to confront the parts of you that want to quit, that crave ease, that whisper, "It's enough." And when you ignore that voice and keep going, you grow. You learn that the limits you once believed in were never real. They were built by fear, not truth. Each morning that you face discomfort, you are training your mind to obey your will. You are proving to yourself that you can endure more than you think. Whether it's a cold wind on your skin or a task you've been avoiding, every act of voluntary struggle sharpens your discipline. You begin to carry yourself differently, calmer, steadier, stronger. While others avoid what's hard, you walk into it. While others seek comfort, you seek challenge. And over time, this becomes your nature. The very things that once made you hesitate begin to call to you, not as threats, but as opportunities. Discomfort humbles you. It reminds you that you are still a student of life. It teaches you respect for effort, for endurance, for persistence. In the still moments after struggle, you find a deeper kind of peace, the peace that comes from knowing you faced what was difficult and did not fall apart. That peace cannot be given, it must be earned. Every challenge you meet with courage adds to your strength in silence. No applause, no recognition, just quiet progress. And it is this quiet progress that prepares you for the storms that will one day test your spirit. Most people run from discomfort because it exposes them. It takes them out of control, and that frightens them. But comfort is a cage. It may feel safe, but it keeps you from becoming who you were meant to be. The strong understand this truth. They do not run from difficulty, they seek it. They look for small ways to test their will, to harden their resolve, to sharpen their minds. Every morning they remind themselves that struggle is not something to fear. It is something to embrace. Tell yourself this: I do not avoid difficulty, I face it. Each time you repeat it, you become a little more unshakable. The cold will not bother you. The challenge will not break you. The fear will not stop you, because you have built a mind that endures. And when the greater storms of life arrive, and they will, you will not tremble. You will meet them with calm eyes and a steady heart, knowing that every small act of courage you chose each morning has prepared you for this very moment. That is the reward of discomfort, not pain, not struggle, but the strength to stand tall when others fall. 7. Enter the day with calm readiness. Do not rush into the world. The moment you wake, resist the urge to be pulled into motion before your mind is ready. The day will try to drag you forward, filling your head with urgency, noise, and endless demands. But before you take your first step, remember this truth: your power lies in your stillness. Enter the day like a mountain, steady, unshaken, deeply rooted in calm. The mountain does not chase the wind. It endures it. It does not fear the storm. It stands through it. That is how you must move: firm, deliberate, centered in yourself. Calm readiness is not laziness. It is mastery. It is the ability to face the day without haste, to act without fear, to think without confusion. It is the quiet awareness that you are prepared for whatever comes, and that panic serves no purpose. Life will always bring unpredictability. People will disappoint you, plans will shift, and the unexpected will find its way to your door. But when you enter the day grounded, you are not easily shaken. You don't react, you respond. You don't fall apart, you adjust with composure. This is not a gift, it is a skill built through daily discipline. Stillness is not weakness, it is control in its purest form. It is the understanding that chaos cannot touch a calm mind. When you cultivate that inner quiet, you no longer fight against every obstacle. You move around them, through them, beyond them. The strong do not waste energy resisting what they cannot change. They direct that energy toward what they can control: their attitude, their choices, their presence. A calm mind is not empty. It is focused. It sees things as they are, not as fear paints them to be. Each morning, before the world claims your attention, pause and breathe. Feel the air fill your lungs. Feel your heart settle into rhythm. This simple act reminds you that peace is already within you. It just needs to be guarded. The world will test you, trying to shake your balance through noise, through rush, through uncertainty, but you do not have to surrender to it. You are not a leaf in the wind. You are the ground it moves across. When you carry calm into the day, you carry power. While others begin in chaos, chasing time, reacting to problems, you move in quiet command. You think clearly because your mind is not clouded by panic. You make better choices because you act from stability, not emotion. And in that control, you find freedom. The calm mind is untouchable. It cannot be provoked, cannot be broken, cannot be forced into confusion. It holds its strength in silence, and that silence speaks louder than any noise. Remember this: storms are inevitable, but panic is a choice. The world may throw you into situations you cannot control, but how you meet them defines your strength. You can meet them with fear, or you can meet them with calm readiness. The calm man does not resist the storm. He becomes still enough to move through it without losing himself. That is the essence of control. So, when the day begins, do not rush to meet it. Let it come to you. Stand firm in your stillness and allow life to unfold at its pace. Breathe deeply and move deliberately. Speak less, observe more, and let your calm become your armor. The one who enters the day with peace walks with quiet authority. Nothing disturbs him because nothing owns his attention. He leads, not by force, but by presence. He conquers, not by aggression, but by mastery of himself. Carry that calm with you as the day unfolds. Let it guide your steps, your words, your choices. Because when you begin each day in stillness, the world no longer controls your rhythm, you do. And in that control lies true power, to face the unknown with unwavering composure, to move through life unshaken, and to remain balanced no matter what storms may rise.